Oh, right. Um, so we just got an announcement for a Halloween game, which I vaguely remember they were talking about a new Halloween game coming out this next year. Like last year, I remember them talking about it and being like, my immediate thought was, please don't be a Dead by Daylight clone. We had that with Texas Chainsaw, fucking Killer Clowns, the Evil Dead game. We had that enough, and that was my biggest fear. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's exactly that. Like, we didn't get any gameplay trailer. It was just a 1 minute teaser. And to be fair, maybe it won't be. But it has all the makings of a Dead by Daylight clone. And I'm so fucking pissed off if that's the case. And it does look like that's the case. Oh my god, can we just stop that? That's why I'm so excited about the Hellraiser game. Because it's an AA game that puts you in that world. I was so worried about that Hellraiser game from Saber that was announced like a month or so ago. I was genuinely concerned about that, and then lo and fucking behold, it's not a Dead by Daylight clone. And this does look like it. And it sucks too, because I feel like this has been a running thing, and I feel like it's high time I talk about this, is that I love Dead by Daylight. I have made no secret that I love Dead by Daylight as a series. I think it's helped the horror genre. It's getting a movie in about a year or so from Blumhouse. It's also opened the door. It's also given a lot of spotlight to killers and slashers, and all of that. But the fact of the matter is, it's also kind of hurt the horror gaming genre. It's basically taken every horror IP and made it make it a clone of it. There are so many things. I feel like we are genuinely limiting ourselves in terms of horror game making. That it really bothers me that like we're taking these IP, and you could say, and I know someone's going to make the argument, what about what about games like Silent Hill F or Resident Evil Requiem? Those games, aren't trying to be anything that they aren't. Like hell, they're actually like doing something different with the IP, especially with Silent Hill F. But the problem is, I'm talking about horror IP in general, where you have all these movie franchises, like again, Texas Chainsaw, Killer Clowns, Halloween. You are literally limiting yourself, and it's basically saying, and you could make the argument that again, like we go back to Friday the 13th, the game, that's coming back as a sequel, and it's just going to be the same thing over again. Every time a new horror movie gets a video game at this point, it's literally the first thought is it's a Dead by Daylight ripoff. Now, I will give the trailer credit by it looks like the style of the game does genuinely look like the 1970s. Like it looks like the 1970s film. It genuinely looks like that, and I'm very happy it does. Like the feel of it does feel like the first movie. At the same time, though, I can't get excited for this because I've seen this multiple times, and it depends on player viewership, and it's also going to be buggy. It's also going to have all of that going for it. I can't get excited for this, even if they announce we're going to let you play as Laurie. Yeah, and we've had Halloween in a Dead by Daylight game. It was called Dead by Daylight, and guess what? It also had Laurie Strode in it, too. And you could play in Haddonfield in Dead by Daylight. And it just bothers me because there's, I've always wanted the best, how I would do a Halloween game is make it from the same guys who did, Telltale or, the people behind Until Dawn or The Quarry. It's not that hard. You could literally, I want a game like that. Is the point and click kind of make your own decisions thing kind of played out? You can make that argument, yes. But, same time, those games do have genuine scares in them. And to apply, I think Halloween as a IP could benefit so much from that type of game. I think that kind of gameplay could definitely work. And yeah, it's but you can't play as the Shape. I don't want to play as Michael. I want to run from Michael. I don't want to play a game that takes away the fear that Michael exudes. I want to be scared like those teenagers or babysitters he's hunting. I don't want to play as Michael because it takes away from Michael's effect as a killer. I want to run from Michael. I want to remember why Michael Myers is a force of fucking nature. And I feel like with games like this, they take away from it. Like, it takes away a little bit from Leatherface and the family. It takes away from the clowns. It takes away from the Deadites. If you're just gonna make it like that, why bother? Again, we already had a Halloween Dead by Daylight game. It was called Dead by Daylight. So I can't be excited for this. And I just cannot be excited for this game because I've seen it so many times from horror IP. And again, as much as I love Dead by Daylight, it is critically damaged horror gaming. It is put it in a box and it won't go away. That's why I have such high hopes for Saber's Hellraiser game, because at least that's doing something. Could it fail? Yes. I fully acknowledge that game could utterly fail. But it is trying something different. It is genuinely giving us a AAA game in the Hellraiser universe. Could it suck? Yeah, it could definitely suck. But we don't know that, and also, it's doing something different. That's why I'm so excited for it, because it's not being Dead by Daylight again. Again, how fucking hard is it to do a style of game like this? Like, to do a AAA game, or again, like a game in the vein of like Until Dawn, or something like that with a horror IP. How hard is it to do that? But we just gotta copy Dead by Daylight over and over again until, what's that? The live system went down. Well, I guess we can't play it anymore. Yeah. So why should I get excited for this? Honestly, like, why on God's green earth should I be excited for this game at all? If it's just going to be the same thing over again, and then in like 2 years, tops, the live system goes down, and now I'm just stuck with a game that I can't even play. Answer me that. Like, why should I care? Anyway. So there you go. I know I'm kind of bitter about this. I was so, like, I knew, because the thing is, like I said, I knew this was going to happen. I knew the moment they said, we're doing a Halloween horror game, I was like, it's going to be a Dead by Daylight clone. Sure enough, that's what it looks like we're getting. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.